by Stuart Pickett, who's with the Carey Institute of Ecosystem Studies, and Ted Gregson from the University of Georgia. And the aim of this meeting was to bring ecological and social scientists together to explore the whole issue of what happens with water availability in times of increasing shortage, because we're using more of it and because climate change is shifting patterns of water availability in the US and around the globe, and the fact that these issues have distributional consequences. Different groups of people, the poor especially, will experience these impacts differently. They'll also experience them differently depending on where they live in the country. The impacts here in Vermont are going to be different than they are in Arizona. And so the idea was to bring a broad cross-section of people together to explore how should society and the scientific community respond to that. So we spent 4 days in Georgia with a variety of activities. We had invited speakers from primarily across the country. Case studies, people were invited to develop case studies, video presentations, things of that sort, that would highlight particular issues in addressing water availability. Poster presentations, a number of which were put together by students. We had about 30 posters presented at the meetings. Several field trips. People had the opportunity to go out and look at places where water availability was being addressed. Lake Lanier in Georgia, if you read about water issues, is the source of a very famous struggle between Georgia and the states to the south of it about using that water for public consumption versus some of the ecological needs for that water that occur in the Florida Panhandle. And we also had blogs from the meeting, which were written by our communications officer, podcasts that were made available, interviews with speakers, things of that sort. And we also webcast the plenary sessions so that people could tune in, like this meeting, from across the country.